Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 9 of Not Your Echo Chamber podcast.
Let's celebrate, because we're about to hit that huge milestone that every YouTuber, every podcaster achieves and dreams of, that episode.
That second digit.
Yeah, I know.
That means 10. You have made 10 episodes. You have now become a prolific content creator.
I know. That means we know everything, I think, at this point.
It means we've almost reached cranial peak.
Cranial peak?
The peak. Not cranial, not...
My cranial has a peak. I have a stupid pointy head.
Yeah, that's what you said when Mom was buzzing your hair off, giving you a real buzz cut. And you said you have a pointy head. I'm like, I agree. You do have a weird pointy head.
Well, because it's like, I couldn't do the bald look for two reasons. One of them is that I would look like a chemo patient.
Ooh. That was not a good ooh.
I don't know.
That was like a Jarrett LeMaster ooh. Ooh.
Okay. And the other reason is I'm pretty sure that I have like this weird bulbous mass in the back.
It's called your head.
I think it's my brain. I think it's too big for my head, and so it like protrudes. But like up at the top, out and back, like I feel like I have bonus skull.
Bonus skull? Like bonus neck?
Yeah.
On your skull?
Yeah, but I just got a little, instead of, having a little
around the neck.
Yeah, I have it like, but it's not fat. It's just bonus skull. I don't know. And I love how I'm like massaging my head in the audio podcast, because you can all see that.
For all the audio. Yeah, we're going to have plenty of cool stuff that you can't see on the audio plan for later. But to start out with, I'm Christopher, and this is my co-host Jeremiah.
Yeah, and let's not forget Matthew here with us today in the studio.
I'm Matthew. I love my mom. I love my dad. I love basketball. I love my brother, and my sister. My voice sounds a little weird because I've been eating horseradish and peanut butter. I've almost finished reflooring our house.
Okay, sorry, Matthew. No harm, no foul. Except there was harm, so there's foul. Anyways, if you can't tell, we have a co-host who's not on the show today, Matthew. He could not be here today. He's out partying with the basketball team.
We know where his loyalties lie.
Exactly.
He better be here for episode 10.
You better be there for double digits, buddy.
Yeah. Otherwise, we'll double down on your salary.
Yeah. Ooh. Double down. Double his salary.
Double.
Double zeros.
Double. Get that in and... Is it in and out? Look, I'm from the Midwest. I don't know what the In-N-Out, Whataburger. Where do you buy the double?
Oh, the double?
I think that's In-N-Out.
I think that's what you call a bath that has like extra suds in it.
No, that's Double Bubble.
Oh, no, wait, isn't it the gum?
Anyways, keep it going.
This podcast is where we talk about what's on our minds, and you don't have to like it. So you can find us on Twitter at NoEchoPod. Tweet us if you have any ideas for the show, ideas for drafts, ideas for media reviews, if you have any ideas for new segments, any comments, whatever. I keep going on about comments, and I have like, the comments come in, they ebb and flow, and people never know what to comment, what to say, so we have dry spells. We have huge dry spells where nobody's commenting. I'm like, they don't need my comment because someone else is commenting. No, you need to be the one. Step up, comment. Comment and subscribe on our YouTube, and comment, review, and vote in our Spotify polls. So the last Spotify poll, it was a bit of a left field. Yeah, I wasn't thinking to take anything seriously, but I was editing the podcast, and I heard Silas say, but do you like Southwest or not? No, absolutely not, and I wish they would die. So I made it a 3-way poll, and if I'm not correct, I wish they would die may have won.
I think it was
Nope, it's no. Actually, no got 5 votes. Wow. And absolutely not, and I wish they die both got 3.
Didn't you say you voted 6 times
I did
on this poll?
6 times. I went on with my alt and with my regular one, and it was a poll. I made it so it would be multiple options, since it was just a throwaway poll. So yes, there's not integrity. Only 5 people voted on this poll. It's not like last episode where we got all those people coming out in droves. And also on the 8.5, the sugar contest episode, we got 4 people voting, and Matthew is dominating me in that one.
I commented on the thing.
I did see that, yeah.
I commented on that episode.
Thank you, number 1 commenter of that episode, Jeremiah.
Yeah, that's me.
But nobody did comment on our contest that we did. So we actually had our very first ever contest with merch prizes. And in that very short 2-day window, nobody guessed it. So I suppose...
I think we give them another week.
Give them another week?
I think we give them more time. They're researching. You know,
That's
you got to
true.
give them time to think, give them time
Exactly.
to stew, and also, guys, just think about it. It's a you know this movie. I know
Yes,
this
so
movie.
I'll repeat what the contest is right here. So the contest was they're supposed to figure out what this audio clip is from. And they're trying to figure out what movie that song is from. So yeah, you guys did not figure out what the answer to that contest was, and Jeremiah knows it, I know it, but to make it a little bit more real, so you guys know what it is, we're gonna do something visual on the podcast, visual on the audio podcast.
Wait,
so,
should I record like a clip that you can put on the
Ooh,
YouTube
yeah,
channel?
sure. Why don't you turn on your camera and
Hold
we
on,
can
let me
start
see.
recording this.
Hey guys, what's up? The Pokemon nerds reaching out to you, doing a little unboxing, a little unwrapping today of this little piece of merch that you can win if you can guess what this song clip is from. Okay. All right, what do we got in here? Oh, sorry, I got to do this real ASMR. This is so dumb. Oh, we got the first corner open, guys. The first corner. Let's go. Okay. I can kind of see inside. See, you can see there's a lot of darkness in there, like inside of our hearts. Okay, let's get the next one opened. Oh, okay. We're starting to see a little ring around the edge. Okay, I don't know what this is. I've never seen this product before, but let's see. What do we got in here? We got something. Sir, are these okay? Bonafide, not your echo chamber stickers. You can put them on your water bottle. You can put them on your computer. You can put them on your face. You know, you can put them anywhere. Are we giving out this whole roll of stickers or just like a couple stickers?
No, this is contest stuff. So every time you win one of our contests, each episode we're gonna have like one contest or something. If we have one of these guessing things, we will. What I was gonna do is the first person who comments on Spotify the answer to it, I will reply that with my email. We will get in contact with using my email, and then through email, through the security of email, we will get that sticker sent out to you, and you'll get the address. I'll send it out to you, pay for postage, everything. We're also gonna clarify a few more ways you can win stickers. I have a list or something, but yeah, this is what you can win. So. Yeah, definitely, guys. You definitely want to look up the video I'm videoing on this.
Yeah, look at the YouTube. Otherwise, you'll just hear these weird crinkling sounds, and you won't see my incredible salesman pitch of these things. I've been watching a lot of
Price is Right, because you look like one of those
Price
chicks.
is Right recently. Just trying to get that look down. You need this product.
Speaking of the Price is Right, something we don't talk about enough is game show hosts and their hands and where they go and like are they
Whoa!
And,
Clarify.
and some of these women are married, so keep it to yourself,
Yeah.
guy.
I don't like. It's not like bad now, but like I feel like when you go back, I thought you were originally going to talk about like how Bob Barker kind of holds the microphone a little weird.
No,
Like,
no,
he's
that's
got, like,
weird.
a little bit
Oh,
of
he's
a
got
weird
like the
grip.
princess fingers.
Yeah, you know, just like just unbendable sausages that just grip the.
I think the microphone is iconic, and I think the guy who
mic-
placed him
the micro-
it's not do a good job.
But no, I think the microphone is iconic. I just think he kind of holds it weird, just a little bit. That's all.
Anyways, it's time for us to get started with this episode and stop talking about Bob Barker's fingers. So we are going to.
I just feel so wrong.
Yeah, I feel like I owe my parents an apology. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Dad. Yeah. So get through the rest of this. So nobody won the contest. You can still win that contest.
And now that you know what you're winning, I think people are gonna come out in droves because I want this episode to be over so I can put one of these stickers on my computer. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, and you have to win it legitimately. Actually, I came up with a whole list of ways that you can actually get these stickers, get a hold of these stickers. So you don't necessarily have to win a contest, but you have to do something that contributes to the show. For example, straight up send us money. Like send your PayPal, just straight up send us money. Or send us audio of you pleading your case to us why you think you should get a sticker. And if it's good, we'll use it on the podcast and we'll give it to you.
How about like if they have a different opinion to what we hear on the podcast, like a rebuttal?
Yes, well, absolutely anything like that. Anything like that we will listen to on the podcast. Make sure to keep it clean. We try to keep this podcast clean for the most part. I mean, sometimes that last week's news dips into it a little bit, but I'm on the way out of that kind of stuff. So, even sending a message or an email or anything about where you listen to the show or how you shared the show with someone else, because sharing is super important too. Or just straight up just send us money, Venmo us or whatever. We don't have Venmo or anything. But anyway, just any of those things. Contribute to the show, and I guarantee you there will be a sticker in store for you. So, yeah, I'm not going to give these out cheap. I spent $30 for a roll of 75, so I definitely did not spare any expense on these things. So, yeah, definitely.
But we want to get these stickers out to the people.
Exactly. So if you give back to this show that has given you 11 shows so far.
Have we really?
Yeah, 11 podcasts, including the other ones. So if you want to give back to this incredible show, this 12th episode we're doing right now,
but it's
guarantee
it's the 9th episode technically.
Guarantee that there will be good things on the way for you. So on today's episode, we're gonna have weekly updates, last week's news, and the main event is gonna be the media review. We're not gonna have a draft today. We're just gonna do a lot of reviewing media because there's a lot to go over today. So can't wait for this episode. It's time to move on to weekly updates.
Who's going first? Am I going first?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, because my weekly updates are less good. So, the first weekly update that I have is that I discovered the frozen food section at the Walmart. Because previously, me and my roommates just like shopped what we needed. We got sandwich stuff, chips, a little bit of fruit, and then like maybe some pizza and like some mac and cheese, maybe. But we were, life was on tilt because of, anyway, there was something that happened and I was on tilt and Sas was on, it was on tilt. And, we were just pacing the Walmart and, we paced our way into the frozen food aisle, and Sam Walton took our anxiety and woes away with Arby's curly fries and corn dogs and fish sticks and the glories of they have pies. They just have pies that you can just buy, throw it in the oven and just cook that bad boy up, and just it's incredible. You guys need to go to the frozen food section. It has changed my life. Two things that have made my life better: Jesus, and then
turning your notifications off before the show. Just a life changer.
Okay, yeah, whatever. Two things that have really changed my life. Number one, Jesus. Number two, the frozen food aisle at Walmart. My life is about to become better in a big way.
So it's like 50-50 Jesus, frozen food, or like 49 Jesus, 51 frozen food.
I think it's a 51 Jesus, 49 frozen food.
Nice.
Now, the next thing that I need to know is I got into a bit of a heated discussion at the old Fleet Farm with one of my coworkers, and it's not really a weekly update, but it was a thing that happened, and I need to know what you think about it. So, we talk about basketball. We're not huge basketball fans. Like, I've never really watched a full NBA game, but still, I feel like I know who the greatest basketball player of all time was. Tell me, who do you think was the greatest basketball player of all time? Overall, spanning all time periods, and all. Who would you consider the top of the top?
You mean who would I consider to be the Michael Jordan of basketball?
Exactly. See, and that's what I'm telling my coworker. It's Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time, and he is so insistent that it's LeBron James.
Well, LeBron James does have the one guy on Instagram with the LeBron. There's this hilarious video that I just keeps going through my head of this one. It's the new LeBron James kid, because that kid grew up in. Ugh. Anyways, LeBron James. Yeah, kinda. But anyways, he's like he recorded this clip of him, and they just use this clip wherever, and like there's this one that starts out, "What is your biggest turn on?" And it just immediately cuts to LeBron. And there was this one that started out as ladies. Or guys, what ladies want is not flowers or any of that. What ladies really want is LeBron. It's funny as mess. So it's hilarious. You gotta look that up, LeBron. Anyways, keep going with your Michael Jordan.
But anyway, he just argues that like Michael Jordan couldn't hang with today's basketball, and it's I don't know. He says that LeBron James has scored more total points. It's like it's not about the points you score. And
it was about the fact that they were on fire.
Yeah,
that team was on fire. They were in the hot streak.
You watch LeBron James plays basketball. You watch Michael Jordan owns basketball.
Yeah.
He writes the story of what is basketball. He paints the canvas of basketball upon the backboard of glass and other things. It's like no, I haven't watched a lot of basketball games, but LeBron James owned the court. Basketball was an art when LeBron James was out there.
Mm-hmm.
And also, he has more rings than he has more championships than LeBron James, and that has nothing to do with Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors, who destroy LeBron James every year.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Sorry about that.
We do need to do, when Matthew's back, we need to do a draft of greatest basketball players, because I was thinking about it, and there's actually there's a lot.
Kobe.
Did you know? Sidetrack, quick. Did you know Kobe was a Christian?
Yes.
He was like, I just found this out.
I did see a few things, and I was surprised. Yes, recently.
Yeah, he was known for being like a really solid Christian guy, and I was like, I like that man. I love it now more.
Exactly. Not just for the threes, but for the three in him.
Wow, real Mike
Mallogy's moment right there. Yeah, that's the triple threat right there.
Yeah, Larry Bird on the Celtics.
Oh yeah, come on. Speaking of Mike Mallogy, more about that later. Anyway, I don't have a weekly update. There's nothing. My life was completely normal. So I was working at Subway. There's this one. I usually work at this one Subway that's further away from my house, but the one that's closer to my house has a lot of people working there. There's 15 people working there, and the one where I work has 9 or something. So they need more people at that one. Anyways, so I was working at the one that's closer to my home. Lots of people. So apparently they needed somebody to restock the freezer that day. They needed somebody to come in and unpack all the frozen goods from the trailer, because the people who were opening couldn't lift the boxes and stuff, I guess, so I had to go in and help them out. Anyway, it's the Subway where you worked a lot of the time. So the one that didn't close.
Oh, the one that didn't close.
Yeah obviously. Anyway, I finished with that. I finished unpacking all that stuff, and I'm working, and they have a legitimate business, and unlike the other one that I work at. So they got stuff coming in, and then they've got this one delivery coming in, and they have to take it back to the office. So this guy, I mean, race doesn't matter, but this was an African American man. This was a black man. He came in. He was bringing a box in, and he brought one in. Went back out to his truck. We thought he was done, but he came in with another one, and we're busy right now. Christopher, can you go open the office door for him, because his hands are full? So I went over there. I opened the door for him. He brings it in, sets it down, and on the way out, he throws, for the audio podcast, he throws me up one of these. So he throws me up the OK hand. And at first, I didn't see an OK hand. I saw the gang symbol that looks like the OK hand. I'm like, whoa, bro, no trouble. And is that a normal thing to do? Just throw up the OK hand whenever,
I've never encountered that.
He just threw up the OK hand to me. And, at first I was like, oh, no, what is the hand symbol that I'm seeing right now? It took my head a second to process it. But,
I feel like the deuces is more common. You hit him with a piece.
One of these?
No, hit him with a peace symbol.
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah, but he threw up the OK, and it could have been sarcastic. It could have been some symbol I misinterpreted to be the OK symbol. It could have been It could have been completely genuine. I have no idea what it was. I had no idea how to react. So I'm just nod and then leave. So
that's the way it is with so many things I don't understand. It's just
especially when it's something black I don't understand. So
come on, man.
That happens more often than you think. All right, so that's the end of weekly updates. Time to move on to last week's news. So take it away, Christopher. This is last week's news. The Museum of the Bible is currently hosting C.S. Lewis and the Myth That Became Fact, an exhibition exploring Lewis's faith journey, highlighting his fascination with mythology and literature. The exhibit includes displays of real pieces of lore that inspired his works, such as the wardrobe from Narnia, the missing plot from the third Space Trilogy book, and his dead wife from A Grief Observed. Severe storms and tornadoes killed 36 across the southern Midwest United States over the weekend, a heavy cost, but not the typical one we've experienced for a triple dozen in the past few months. A fire at an unregistered nightclub in Macedonia killed 59 and injured 150 after pyrotechnics set the ceiling on fire. But from what I heard, it was a lit party. Over the weekend, the United States initiated drone strikes against Iran-backed Houthi rebels in response to escalating attacks on U.S. naval vessels. The Houthis clarified that they thought they were aiming at U.S. naval vessels, which were presumably importing new shipments of bird flu. The National Archives released 80,000 pages of classified documents related to the assassination of JFK. These will include names of the involved parties, CIA surveillance documents, and a little diary full of drawings of stars, planets, and spacemen. Putin has agreed to a 30-day limited ceasefire, but also has demanded that the United States cease military aid and intelligence sharing with Ukraine as part of the agreement. He has also demanded other reasonable things, such as all Ukrainians must bow down to the Motherland Calls statue every day or be cast into the fiery furnace. NASA astronauts Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore have safely returned to Earth via SpaceX's Dragon Freedom capsule. Trump has invited the astronauts to the White House once they have completed their post-mission recovery. Kamala Harris has also invited them to her house, but only for an hour, and she must be allowed to have a teleprompter. A series of arson attacks targeting Tesla dealerships and service centers have occurred across the United States in recent weeks. In Las Vegas, an assailant set 5 Teslas on fire and spray-painted the word "resist" on the dealership's windows. But under that spray paint, the word "coexist" was found spray-painted on, and under that the word "resist," and under that the word "coexist," and then so on. U.S. District Judge Anna Reyes issued a preliminary injunction blocking the enforcement of President Donald Trump's executive order that prevented men who pretend to be women from serving in the military. But she also ruled that there will not be any guys allowed in the women's restroom at her courthouse, at least while she's in there. The Trump administration has suspended approximately $175 million in federal funding to the University of Pennsylvania due to the university's inclusion of Leah Thomas, a man pretending to be a female swimmer who competed on the women's team. UPenn tried to appeal the suspension, claiming that they should be exempt from the funding cuts, since after all, they were just trying to look good by supporting the current thing, that's all. This has been last week's news, and remember, only Christopher's opinions of the news matter. Repeat line, end of speech.
Alright, thanks for that. That was really well done and just not pre-recorded or anything.
I know, I do especially love the part where you can tell I'm in the parking lot of Menards.
How would you tell? It's like you can hear that.
Yeah, whatever no, it's the "Save Big Money at Menards."
Did you? I respect Menards so much for being like the only company that uses a banjo in their like little tagline.
Save big money at Menards. Yeah,
but it is. It's in there. And
here, let's do it. I'll do the banjo. You do "Save Big Money at Menards."
Save big money. You save big money when you shop Menards.
Like that.
I did a different jingle than we were intending to.
Yeah, I know. Yours is more melodic.
Yeah. But those are the ones that, like, when you're just in the Menards, they just save big money. You save big money when you shop Menards.
Wow, we were in harmony there.
It was like golden. I want to go back.
Mr. Menard, hire us.
Yeah.
We're the new. We will sponsor you. You sell good products. But speaking of Menards, there is one thing I don't respect them for, and that's this creepy old guy who comes in every day at like 3:00, and he comes in. I have a coworker who's like 20 years old, and he comes in every time and hits on her.
Oh.
And it's so like, oh, and like it's so obvious that he's doing it, and like. It's super gross. Like that's my biggest problem with Menards is that they hired that guy and he comes in and he's like, oh yeah, she's great. She's I'm like, oh.
You're like, I will put a loogie on your sandwich, sir.
No, he's right there watching me.
No,
you can always tell he gives preference to her, and it's so weird.
Do you know if maybe they're related?
No, they're not. She said that she's been writing down the things he says, because.
Okay,
yeah,
moving swiftly on.
Yeah, but it was a kind of cool thing. Like 3 of like the the three like guy employees one time we were all like switching shifts, so it was switching from the two of us to the two different ones, and so it was kind of cool. We were all like, yeah, if he ever comes in, we'll pound him. Yeah. We were getting all like masculine and stuff, like, yeah, he's never gonna do that again. And she was feeling all great that we were defending her and everything, and it was pretty cool. Like three manly men being like, we're not gonna let anybody be creepy with our coworker. Yeah, I really want to give names, but I shouldn't. I don't.
His name is Mark. No, I'm just
His
kidding.
name is Mr. Menards. I'm just kidding.
No, Mr. Menard is actually still alive and raking in all the quiche from every single store. That's great. I mean, I guess we're dancing with the devil here. He could kick the bucket at any point.
That's true. Any moment it could be lights out.
I love the expressions. I love idioms. I love a good idiom. But can we sidetrack and talk about something serious for a super quick second?
What?
I feel like the chivalry of just platonically defending a woman's honor is just so sadly missing.
Yep.
From our culture. Like I genuinely feel like it used to be so much more common for like a random dude to just be like, I will beat that dude up because he's being disrespectful to that random woman.
Yeah. I mean, we were kind of obnoxious about it though. We were like, yeah, if he ever comes in, we'll turn him inside out or whatever. Like, but it was kind of cool. I was a Christian. Another one of those guys was a Christian. The other guy wasn't, but he's still a good guy, a hard worker. So yeah, we were all like gathering around and being like, yeah, we'll get you bodyguards. We'll get you. We'll make sure we'll take down his license plate and stalk him.
We'll come back strapped next time.
Yeah, we're packing heat, baby. All right. You ready to move on to media review?
Let's move on.
All right, for media review today, we have a lot of stuff to go over today. And what do you want to get started with?
What do I want to start reviewing?
Yeah. Do you have? How many do you have?
I wrote two things down, but I really only super want to talk about one thing, and I probably will break the one thing down super far. So maybe I should only go with my one.
Let's both start out with the one we don't have a lot for, because I have one that I'm gonna go over for like at least like 15 minutes. So
yeah, I it's probably the same.
All right. So I'll just start out with my first one. So I don't know if you've seen this one, but it came out a couple years ago. I feel like it came out to a bit of acclaim, but it like I saw it and I was like, I don't know how much they could do with that IP. It doesn't look that good. But Jungle Cruise, watched it a couple weeks ago with Dwayne Johnson.
Really?
So good. I could not believe how good it was. It was funny. It was action packed. The bad guys in that movie, and it's funny, a formula that always works. There was the bad guys were Nazis. There was lots of snakes, and there was also archaeology. So couldn't go wrong. Exactly. Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right. Yeah, but the first like 5 minutes of it, like after it gets with the part with the female protagonist stealing some stuff, it's just The Rock just telling dad jokes for like 5 minutes. he's like that rock over there is limestone, but most people just take it for granted, and he's just saying all these really cringy dad jokes and like everybody on board. Like, so let me just briefly tell kind of the story of this. So there's this one tree that's like hidden away somewhere, some archaeological thing that no one can find in like the Amazon, and it's to go out searching for it is this one. The female protagonist is from Britain, and she shocks everyone in that era because she wears pants, and so that quickly becomes her nickname is Pants, because that's not very typical of the women of that era to do, and she's like. She can't be part of the scientific community or whatever, because it's not accepted for women to do that at the time. So she gets her brother to be her mouthpiece, but he's not exactly the most motivated person to do it. He's very dedicated to her, though. He's also a comic relief. And then there's Dwayne Johnson, and The Rock he's faking cruises in the Amazon, just faking all these things that happen, like attacks by, the the natives or whatever. He gets them to attack and stuff, and he gets like a waterfall, the backside of water, like you've never seen it before, and he basically sets up this whole adventure on a cruise that he just does over and over again for money, and there's some pretty cool revelations. So, anyways, they're on this cruise, and they're trying to find this tree with the flower petals that can heal any sickness or whatever, and it's pretty cool. It's a great thing, and the bad guys are freaky, like besides the Nazis and their submarine coming to try and also get the power so they can win World War II, which is when this is happening. So yeah, never ends. There's a guy, they're like made out of these jungle elements, like because they're cursed. There's this one guy that's made out of snakes, and like the snakes just like protrude out of him and go in and out, and like it's so weird and nasty. There's one guy that's made out of mud, and he's just slaying mud everywhere. One guy's made out of bees, and he's like, his head is half decayed and honeycomb, and it's like, these bad guys are so horrifically awful, and like, for me, since it doesn't cause nightmares, it's awesome to look at. So yeah, it's super cool. Highly recommend this movie. Set in like during World War II, excellent movie. So, Jungle Cruise, definitely watch it. For family friendliness, I would give it. It really depends on the family. A lot of these movies do, but I would say for general family friendliness, I would give it a 4 out of 10. Because
that's not great.
Well, I would say it's pretty funny, but it'll give kids nightmares for sure. So maybe even 3 out of 10 for family friendliness. There's nothing really bad in it, but I find family friendliness ratings to be a really bad judge of whether it's a good story. Because if there are bad guys that are just so horrendous and disgusting, and you can tell that they're the bad guy, I have a hard time saying that makes it a bad story. Because usually when a bad guy is completely evil and wicked and irredeemable, I find that to be the best kind of bad guy. And even if you don't even realize it at first, then over time you realize the evilness of that villain. Just goes deep and irredeemable. So irredeemable bad guys are one of my favorite parts of bad guys. So yeah, so definitely recommend Jungle Cruise. But for story level, I would give it a solid 8 out of 10. Bit conventional for story, but still a great portrayal, great acting, great CG, great effects, great cinematography. Everything was great about that movie. So personal recommendation, 9 out of 10, I'd say, is an all-timer.
All right. Okay, I want to talk about the Lego Movie, the original Lego Movie. Probably my number one watched movie. When I was a child, I watched this thing over and over and over again.
I remember the number was like 13 for the longest time. It's like, yeah, I saw that movie 13 times. It was undoubtedly your most watched.
Yeah, it is, and the number is it's unknown at this point how many times. But I never really want to watch it, but as soon as I sit down and watch it, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember why this was a good movie.
Yeah.
But basically, for those of you who don't know, it follows the adventures of Emmett Rakowski as he lives his life in Bricksburg, just completely unaware that he is being manipulated by Lord Business, along with everybody else, and there's this secret group of people called the Master Builders who want to build different and unique things from what Lord Business wants built and done. And so they have to hide away and like try and run away and escape from him. And he's trying to use this weapon called the Kraggle, which is basically just some glue, to glue all the Lego people together and make things the way he wants them to be permanently. And the Master Builders need to try and find the piece of resistance and try and put that on top of the Kraggle to cap it and kind of stop its power. And along the way, like we learn some valuable lessons, like Legos are not toys. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
But his dad learns. There's a dad in this movie called the Man Upstairs who is a real person, and it's like. And he learns, like, the value of, like, actually interacting with his kids, kind of.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, it's really well done because, like, the story is told. Like, there's an animated story that exists because of things that happen in real life.
Yeah, because of his imagination.
Right. And so, like, that's just super awesome. And then, obviously, the father-son moments are very touching. And it's just really good Chris Pratt, Will Ferrell humor, and And I mean, just kind of like slapstick audio, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like the jokes are just the most ridiculous kind of jokes.
And talk about like an introduction to Chris Pratt, my first Chris Pratt movie ever, and for every time I heard Chris Pratt after that, I'm like, oh, the guy from the Lego Movie.
Yep.
That movie introduced me to Chris Pratt, and I was hooked from the beginning.
So many hilarious one-liners from that movie. Family friendly rating, I think it's really good for family friendliness. I don't see any like elements that like would not be acceptable like at
I mean,
all.
it's clearly toys.
Yeah, I mean it's clearly toys. There's nothing like really bad at all about it that I can think of. Like no bad elements that you'd want to avoid necessarily. So I mean honestly 10 out of 10 for family friendliness. Story rating and like story rating and like set, you know, and like set design and just general look and story of the movie, it probably 8 or a 9, honestly.
It's super good.
It's a good story, and I really like the animation is incredible, and the cuts that are like visual are like really well done too, and just I mean it works well together. The soundtrack is just incredible to that movie, actually so good, and yeah, so just total overall rating, honestly, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like I love that movie. Like I genuinely love that movie so much. And like I can't really think of anything that's not to like about the Lego Movie.
There's nothing there. Yeah, it's totally a totally lovable movie, lovable characters, everything.
And I think even if you don't like Legos, you can still have fun with the story and the characters, and the acting job is just incredible.
Yeah. All right. Do you have another one that you were gonna do?
I do. That's my longer one. If we're going to jump into that one.
Let's jump into that now.
Okay. All right. I've found myself to be a fan of musicals, and about this time, there has been a musical that has just recently been turned.
Hold that thought.
Okay.
I have a video of you from it's like exactly 2 years ago in April, I think it was, of you saying musicals are a waste of time. Musicals, no good musicals have ever been made. This is pre Greatest Showman. This is pre movie you're about to say.
Yep.
All this stuff. So
Yep.
You went the other way on that, my friend.
I have discovered that I love a good musical. Have not seen Hamilton yet. Need to see that at some point, I think.
Listen to the soundtrack. Honestly, it's white people. So basically, the Hamilton soundtrack, just a quick aside, it's a bunch of white people who are like, we can't rap, but we want to sing songs fast with lots of F-bombs. How do we get this to work? I got it. We'll turn a historical character that was actually bad, make him look good, and make Thomas Jefferson look bad, and we'll put all our songs in there. That's white people talking really fast and dropping lots of F-bombs. Yes, I knew we could do it.
Are there a lot of F-bombs in that? I've only heard
the soundtrack is explicit. Like the first song in there just got like a major bomb dropped right at the beginning. Like not at the beginning, like a couple minutes into the first song, like they just drop like, I've been doing a little bit of historical research for school lately. I've been researching the founding fathers, and I don't necessarily think they were big F-bomb droppers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, let's be completely honest. Like, P.T. Barnum wasn't a great guy either.
That's true. That's true.
But I mean, at the same time,
neither was the person from the one you're about to do.
Well, that's true, but I'm okay with this one, honestly. But as I know that's a really difficult thing because like I know people have like really enjoyed the story, and I think I'm okay with like The Greatest Showman being modified because he wasn't like a super important character, you know, and
yeah.
It's like they were just telling a good story. But yeah, no, I've never heard that about Hamilton, so maybe I'll approach that with a little more caution.
I definitely approach it with caution. I would also say approach it with caution because everybody says nothing but glowing, awesome things about it, and then whenever there's a movie or anything like that, that just there's nothing. It's completely good, 100% good. There's nothing ever wrong with this. Definitely want to approach it with caution. If people, just for not to be controversial or anything, but like, don't buy into what's popular immediately.
But the other thing also being, yeah, I feel like Hamilton is much more dangerous of a character to play with because now you're talking about really important, like circuses for schmirkuses. Like those aren't huge influencers like the founding fathers and the original.
Jefferson coming home. I listened to a lot of that at work. They play it sometimes.
But no, it's yeah. So okay, well I've never heard that. So hey, maybe I'll have to watch it and slander it on this podcast.
I'm not sure if it's exactly a movie. I'm not sure there's been one movie production that they really do because I've heard different soundtracks played. Like
okay, because I
know it's a play. I don't know if it's a movie.
I know it's a play. I know that for certain. So I don't. Maybe it's not a movie. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe I need to go to Broadway and find out. Anyway, but yeah, stay tuned for the slandering of Hamilton. Wow, that changed.
It sounds like we hang him or something. Like a stay tuned. We're gonna burn him at the stake.
We need to be
physically.
We need to be historically accurate here. Tar and feather.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Yes.
Or hang him by the bootstraps.
Yeah. Let's hear it for Aaron Burr.
Let's hear it for Bill Burr.
What?
I'm just kidding. No, who's Aaron Burr?
He's the guy that shot Hamilton in a duel.
Oh yeah, cool guy. love that guy.
Alexander Hamilton was fine. He didn't have a great life.
He was misguided.
We can analyze his political agenda later. Maybe we should have like a political segment at some point where we like examine different political doctrines or political beliefs.
Yeah, or just straight up read For You They Signed because it's good. Actually, you guys don't know this, but Thomas Jefferson was a shining beacon of human existence. He was not this evil thing that we've made him out to be. Like he never was. I don't even know where that came from. Like
it was like Thomas Jefferson, then Jesus, then
yeah, exactly. He's our savior. No,
Mohandas Gandhi.
No, but they think it's the opposite. It's Hitler, Mao, Stalin, and then down there's Thomas Jefferson. Oh, he had slaves. But Mao never had slaves.
He had a lot of slaves.
Mao wasn't that bad. He was.
Who wasn't that like? Was it George Soros or somebody said that? Or no, it's what's his name? Communism has its upsides.
Oh yeah, yeah. Communism has its Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders. Wasn't that one of Bernie Sanders like AIDS or whatever? It was like communism isn't that bad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, gulags. They weren't that bad. We're gonna have to burn it all to the ground, pretty much.
That's scary, guys.
The gulags weren't that bad. They were more of educational, re-education camps.
Have $1 million.
Bernie Sanders.
Anyway, all that to say,
The billionaires.
He had to start with I heard was it the Babylon Bee talking about how he started with the millionaires.
Yeah, then he switched to when he became one. He was like,
the billionaires. It's the billionaires.
But once he switched to the billionaires, once he switched to millionaire, he became a millionaire, and then he had to.
Anyway, what's your?
All that to say, I love a good musical, and this one. I had zero interest until I heard an ad on Spotify, and I heard a few clips of the music, and I needed to go watch it. And we're going to talk about Wicked today.
All right.
So, did not realize Wicked, the current one that is out, is part 1 of 3 parts that are going to be released. The next one comes out in November 2025.
So is it wickeder or more wicked?
I don't know. But because, like, I genuinely don't know where they're going to go with the story, so I'm fascinated, and might go watch it in the theaters, and you guys will probably get Wicked Part 2 next one. But, so anyway, this basically follows the story of asking how did the Wicked Witch of the West end up the way that she was in The Wizard of Oz. So the movie starts out with the Wicked Witch is dead, and it's impressive sets, but we're going to talk about that later. The Wicked Witch is dead, and Glinda, the Good Witch, is like talking to the people of Munchkinland, and it's kind of a really scary opening scene where they're just like they're rejoicing, but they like burn a giant effigy of the Wicked Witch of the West, and they sing about a song about how nobody mourns the wicked, and it's a little bit scary, and but basically then Glinda kind of goes back, I think, to like we see into her memories of her time at Shiz School of Magic when she first met Glinda, And it basically, or Glinda, when she first met, I can't remember her name now. Apparently, the Wicked Witch of the West has a name, and I can't remember it. Absidy.
It's Barb.
Absidy or something like that. I really can't remember.
Barb. I swear it's Barb. It's Barbara.
I'm gonna feel really bad because I actually think I enjoyed this movie, but and so we basically get to see how the Wicked Witch of the West came from a really difficult past, father issues, family problems, to like basically her younger sister was loved more than she was.
Oof.
And she comes to school.
I understand that.
And there
I'm just kidding.
there is serious, like, I mean, I was surprised at the intensity of the prejudice that they have in this movie against her, like, just because she's green.
Oof.
Oof. And like people are like so afraid of her, and she has this magic power where when she gets angry, she like loses control and has the power to move things. But this is not like, was it 11 from Stranger Things or whatever? No, I don't know. I've never seen Stranger Things. But no, so but she has this power, and there she meets Glinda at school, who is a total butt. And she is like, and played by Ariana Grande, she does an incredible job of playing just a dumb blonde, like, and
Nice.
she's like the most popular girl at school, and she just hates the Wicked Witch of the West. And over time, they learn some valuable lessons, and they become friends. They actually become really good friends over time, and Glinda helps the Wicked Witch of the West to she tries to help her become more popular and become more liked by people, and she succeeds at the school, and then the Wicked Witch of the West goes off to the Emerald City to meet the Wizard of Oz, Jeff Goldblum, and so which was like her goal the whole time. She wanted to meet the wizard, and like basically because he's so powerful, she wanted to meet with him, and she hoped that she could work with him and basically make people like her. And I'm not going to describe the plot any more than that because I feel like that would be giving spoilers after that, but some things go down in the Emerald City, and basically we kind of get to see the startings of the Wicked Witch of the West. The ideology, nothing groundbreaking, to be completely honest. I have been wrestling with this all day, ever since I first watched it, and as I'm watching it, I'm like, I know that I'm going to be describing it on the podcast, and so I'm trying to break down, like, what I'm breaking down everything the characters are saying, like, what is the ideology behind here, and it's not Christian, if we're being completely honest. It is the ideology that, like, some people are not popular, and we should be valuing them because they're not popular, or we should be valuing, we should be valuing everyone, you know, like, no matter what they look like.
Yeah.
But sometimes, and I think the main principle is almost that people are not born wicked, but that wickedness is thrust upon them, if you know what I mean.
Oh.
Which is a bit of a, but again, it's one of those things that, it's a Hollywood principle, you know, you see it a lot. And so we kind of, through the movie, we start to see her getting pushed by students, teachers, and basically almost like governments later. Like, there are massive forces that are almost turning her evil. And so, I mean, just being aware that that's in there, a little bit of because she starts out as like a good person with a bit of a jaded side because of all the cruelty she's went through. And so anyway, just being aware that that's in there. The characters are really hard to understand, kind of. Like, as I'm going through, I'm like, wait, hold on. So she was bad, but now she's trying to be mean, but now she's good? And is she really good, or is she just manipulating? Because at the beginning, Glinda is, extremely manipulative.
That's like me and Oppenheimer trying to figure out whether Albert Einstein is a good guy or a bad guy.
Yes. And it's like, and then there's, this turning point, this beautiful moment, and where she, realizes what she's done is wrong. And she goes to, try and make it right by becoming friends with Glinda, or where Glinda goes to, make friends with the Wicked Witch of the West, who I'm so irritated that I can't remember her name. And that she that's the moment where they become friends. But after that, there are still like a few times where it's like, is she good? Is she nice now? And let's see here. And then, but characters, okay, sets. Let's talk about the two things in this movie that this movie does incredibly well. Music, I loved the music. It's really good from this one. Just my only critique is I feel like they fell into a bit of a trap of oh, it was right there.
Wait, is that actually it?
That was her name, yes. It's like egg something?
Elphaba.
Wait,
Elphaba.
Elphaba, that's it. Okay, see, because it's not spelled how you would think it would be spelled. Look up Elphaba Thrupp. But no, that is her name. That is her name, Elphaba. Yeah, I'm so stupid. Anyway, but songs, yes, songs. But okay, so my main critique of the songs is that I felt like they were a little bit of like instead of saying lines, they were singing them. Yeah. You know how normally a song has like chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse?
Yeah.
The only thing I wasn't a super fan of was I wish they would have repeated the hooks more. Yeah. I wish they would have gone back to a chorus a little bit more. It just kind of felt like they broke out into songs. Musically, the songs are incredible. Really? Like, they sound really good. They use beautiful music notes that are just so, like, triumphant and lifting. And, like, they sound really good and just beautiful notes and, like, really well sung, really well. Look, it's Ariana Grande, okay, and Cynthia. I can't remember her name, but they do an incredible job. I can remember anyway. No,
oh, I know you were going there.
No, I'm sorry.
Racist hobo.
Okay. No, anyways, but I just musically beautiful, and just I wish they would have gone back to some choruses or to their hooks a little bit more often. Sets. Something I found out after this movie, after I saw in the credits, there was like a whole page of carpenters. And I was like, wait a second. How much of this was CGI? There was actually almost no CGI in this movie at all. Every set was actually built. Like they had a 45-foot tall Emerald City scene. And they had like all the palaces and the things were like and like the like Munchkinland. They actually grew 90 million tulips for the tulip fields in Munchkinland. And so it's like I feel like there's been a bit of a trap that companies have been falling into with like just your actors and a blue background. And I actually told my buddy, I was like, actors have to have so much imagination now because they're just everything's CGI around them. And but no, I found out that this movie, they actually built a ton of sets for it. And like they did a ton of metal and woodwork and painting. And so they like built legit sets and I love that. And congratulations to them. That's incredible. I love that about it. And so those two things. What's not to like? We've got right at the beginning of the movie, her mother, the Wicked Witch of the West, her mother does cheat on the father. Oof. At the beginning of the movie, and there is a character who's a little confusing. He's the prince, and when he comes into the school, he's like trying to teach the students like that the school is teaching you the wrong thing and not to study and just to party all the time, and he's a bit of a like not real bad, but he's a bit of a flirty guy. Oh. And so it's not great there. And there is a storyline about the talking animals and the talking animals being like suppressed and removed from teacher positions and society, and they're trying to make it so the animals can't talk anymore, and just a little bit of some deeper, like almost like racism like level like commentary that they do on it. And again, I cannot comment on that because it was not resolved. You know, it wasn't resolved in this movie, so I can't like comment on how they did. So far, I mean, I'm enjoying the story so far, and I don't see any like racism red flags, if you know what I mean. The animals aren't like, we need to kill all the people. because we're different. But no, I'm looking forward to see how that changes, how that turns out. But yeah, those are just some red flags to look out for. Family friendly factor, it's low. I don't really want to give a number to it, but like I said, there's a couple topics in there. I think your family can enjoy it, but I don't know. I would be cautious, definitely, of those elements that I just warned about. Story rating, I like the story so far. The characters again are a little hard to understand. I'm failing to see a couple perspectives. There were a couple things characters did that I was like, I don't understand why you did that, and it might just be character depth, the characters might be deeper than surface level, good, bad. There might be, a little bit deeper storylines than that. And so again, looking forward to see how these things turn out in part 2, part 3. But I enjoyed the story. I loved the music. Yeah, I think I liked it. Overall rating, I was about to say, when you were talking about things that are hugely popular and being wary of that, Wicked has a 98% audience score and a 96% Rotten Tomatoes.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it's incredibly popular, and I can see why. But again,
because Ariana Grande fans.
It was just a little bit off, that it's just like, there's just kind of things that we accept from Hollywood, that I think maybe we don't need to accept, like just these, slightly strange things about, just those storylines of like, I want to be like, she wants to conform to be just like everyone else. So that way she'll be accepted, and she kind of makes a big scene about how she's different. And maybe if I spent more time, and gave it a little bit more time, like digging in, I could find some current cultural elements in there. But again, I'm not super great at analyzing movies. I'm just kind of giving you guys my opinions. And I've been thinking about this to kind of like break it down. But no,
good.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie. So yeah, I would definitely say personally, when I'm thinking about a movie, maybe this is not a great way to do it, but I always think about the worst thing. So think about those bad things that I mentioned, and see if you're able to overcome that. Watch this movie; it's good. It's actually pretty good, and yeah. So just a couple things there to be wary of, but I enjoyed it. Love the fact that they built all their sets. Love the music, like I said before, I'm honestly okay with if like they actually come out with like in the Wizard of Oz, like if the Wicked Witch of the West was actually like almost pushed to evil, and if Glinda was actually like kind of a jerk good guy, if you know what I mean, like kind of self-serving, which you can kind of see she's a little in this movie. She seems to be a little self-serving, at least at the beginning. But like I said, like I told my buddy Sal, I'm not a huge Wizard of Oz truther. So if it is a little bit more of a light gray, dark gray, instead of black and white, I'm honestly okay with that. Like it's a dangerous place to be, but I don't know. I think the story's kind of interesting. Don't remember where I was going with that, but anyway, Wicked. Overall rating. See, I don't know if I want to take it down to an 8. And I don't want to know if I want to take it all the way up to a 9. So, like, I think, yeah, I'm 8 to 9. I'm somewhere in there. And I wanted to say 8.5, leaning 9. I don't know. Let's go with 8.5. Personal overall rating, 8.5. And who knows? It might go up, it might go down when the second one comes out in November. And, yeah, but I will say, also, as a kid, I never really watched movies in release order, I was never really waiting for that next big release. I was always just like, oh, watch this movie, watch that movie. And
you're like, okay, let's watch this movie. And then like 3 months later, if you're lucky, ooh, I just saw another movie. Because back then we didn't watch a lot of movies.
We did not watch a lot of movies, that's true. But like recently I just went through Marvel and I didn't have to wait for the whole Infinity War Endgame release thing. And so genuinely being a part of this Wicked release is a bit, it hurts me. I don't want to wait. I want my instant gratification now. I want to watch Wicked Part 2 right now. Universal Studios, get that out there.
I swear you just said I want to hear Wicked Fart too. I got a Wicked Fart ready for you.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. Yeah, so anyway, that was my huge one.
All right,
so
nice.
long.
I know, it's the Meteor View Show. It's to make up for all those other ones.
Yeah, so
All right, I have a movie that we have both watched recently.
Yep.
It's a great movie. This movie, I just watched it like 11 days ago. It has this movie is inspiring to me like almost no other movie. I'm gonna say there's probably no movie like this. It's
really?
Yes, this is probably it's either number 2 or number 3 movie of all time. I've got to say. I've rekindled my love for it because it sticks with me like no other movie has.
You know that's really true.
What?
That's very true.
With this movie?
It is such just a beautiful movie.
Yeah, it gets completely... I'm completely stuck on it. So, this movie, Wreck-It Ralph. This is the cinematic masterpiece like Disney has never made before and probably never will make again. And think of that what you will. This movie was directed by John Lasseter. First of all, I want to talk about this man's. So, his contract recently expired for Disney, and R.I.P. to them, because their movies have gone downhill since he left. Like, for real. John Lasseter, he did Cars, he did I think he did Toy Story, he did Incredibles, he did all these, like, incredible IP, and, like, he's just got to be living the high life right now. I mean, with all the incredible movies this man has made. Anyway, John Lasseter, incredible director.
Yeah.
Wreck-It Ralph. This has probably my favorite movie soundtrack
So true.
of all time. Like, more than Star Wars, more than Lord of the Rings. I know that's controversial to say, but this is my favorite soundtrack in a movie of all time.
May I describe it?
Yes.
Like, it's like take all of your 80s nostalgia video game sounds mixed with like modern synths and just chord progressions that just make you soar.
It's more creative even than the Mario one. So it's a perfect blend of, it's got electric and acoustic guitars and like even the main themes, and it's the perfect blend of that, symphony and techno. And the techno beginning of that music. Oh, so good.
It's so good. I listen to that song, and that song alone, I'll just play that thing.
Yeah, me too. I've literally got a little sneak preview for you right here of my on repeat on Spotify. I've been listening to this soundtrack non-stop for the past, I don't know how long it's been, like a couple weeks. But anyway, this is my on repeat right now.
That's crazy. It is all Wreck-It Ralph.
It's all Wreck-It Ralph right now. Like, I just love the soundtrack so much. Every single song on this is so good. I love the one about the racing. The racing one is so good. The one about building the cart is so good. All of these songs are good. And it's got an Owl City song at the end.
I was about to say, I was, if I may interrupt.
Yeah.
I was at a game night with a buddies last night, and a buddy from school, and he just started like, just dumping on Owl City for like Fireflies and for that song, and I was like, dude, don't hate on my Owl City. He is like one of my number one artists.
Yeah, that song is so incredibly good. It shows up like at the perfect, like the ending is so perfect and good and like uneditable and unchangeable that like just the song just rolling right off of that, you just can't beat that. And this movie, I love that this movie is high stakes. It's not just that they're sacrificing time or effort or anything, but Ralph is literally, in this movie, this video game character, Ralph, in the end, he has to learn to sacrifice himself. He starts out this movie, he's trying to serve himself. He's trying to get out of the dump and live in the penthouse with the main character of his video game, Fix-It Felix, because he's the villain in his video game, and he wants to show them that he can win a medal so he can be just as good as Felix, so he can go up there and live in the penthouse with them. So he goes into another video game, tries to win a medal, but it all goes wrong. He accidentally releases a giant robotic bug into another game, another one of those candy games, kind of like Candy Crush, but it's this game called Sugar Rush, and it's like this kart racing game with candy themes and everything, and he's in there, and he meets this adorable little character played by Sarah Silverman, with this glitch in the game, who's everybody thinks is not supposed to be there in the game, and she always wants to race, and he wants to get a medal, and she steals his medal from him somehow, and she uses it as a coin to enter into the race, and so she can race to become part of the roster for the game, and so the whole thing is him trying to get back his coin, but her cart that she built herself that she was going to race in gets wrecked, so they have to, so their friendship dynamic is so hilarious when they're going back and forth, and yeah, eventually they have to realize that they have to team up to get her a new cart so they can race. They get her a new cart, and the hilarity ensues from there. All that stuff. Meanwhile, they're trying to be stopped by King Candy, who's this unassuming king character who's trying to stop them, and seems like he has something against the character. It's Vanellope. Vanellope von Schweetz is her name.
It's not pink, it's salmon.
It's not pink. And it's a twist villain too, which is incredible. Anyway, this is an excellent movie, and in the end, he has to learn to sacrifice himself when like this virus is taking over the game, and it's incredible because what happens is she's a glitch. So according to the rules, glitches can't leave their game, so she's stuck in there, and the bugs are about to eat her, and Ralph has to choose to sacrifice himself in a volcano in order to save her, and in the end she does end up like saving him at the last moment, but it's the principle of the thing, where he sacrifices himself. You can see the moment of decision in his eyes when you can recognize that he's sacrificing himself, and it's completely crucial for a character to save him because it's an important part of the story. Right before she saves them, she says, "I got it under control," and they glitch through the side of the volcano right before it erupts and destroys all of the cybugs in the giant volcanic eruption. So it's a super, super, super good movie. Yeah. Also, Disney did not hold back with this movie. I wish we could go back to this. Anyway, this quote when they build the cart, they escape from the King Candy, and they're back at Vanellope's hideout, and Vanellope says this one thing a line that just sticks with you, and it's this one line. Ralph comments on like the shabbiness of where she lives. He's like, "Why do you even stay?" And like she tells him about how she's a glitch, and she's like, she says this one line, and she says, "Everyone here just says I'm a mistake. What else am I supposed to do?" And it was the line just stuck with me because like everyone says I'm a mistake. Like Disney was not holding back to make this character someone that everyone can relate to and be like, I understand that feeling of being someone saying I'm a mistake, and reaching down to the lowest part of the audience and the people who feel like they don't deserve any, they don't have any value at all, or like people don't think anything of them. It's an incredible message, and like in the end, she's shown that she's actually the spoilers. Should I not spoil anything, or
no? Don't leave the spoilers.
Don't. All right, yeah. This is 2012, so it should be fine. Anyway, they end up realizing that she is the main character of this game all along, and her code was stolen by none other than it's King Candy. He was actually another character from a different game who tried to, when his game wasn't popular, he sabotaged another game, got them both unplugged, but secretly snuck away into this game and reprogrammed it to make him the king and take her away as the ruler. So it's a really good movie. The bad guy, like I was saying before, irredeemably evil bad guy, just super, like in the end, he transforms into this hideous, like, bug, clown nightmare that's like his motions are so freaky when he's running after Ralph, trying to stop him from like causing the Mentos to fall into the Diet Coke mountain and create the volcano. And he's just so freaky. Have some candy. He's so terrifying. And in the end, he just gets destroyed by going into the light. And it's so And another part of the villain that I loved, him being a twist villain, was that he while he was still King Candy, he got Ralph's medal back and he gave it to him right before him and Vanellope were going to go out to the race and get her to see if she could qualify for the race. He gives her the medal and he lies that she's not really a part of the game, because what happens if Vanellope does race is she'll be put back into the roster, and she'll be even if she doesn't win, she'll be put back in the roster and her code will be restored, and everyone will see that King Candy was he was a fluke the whole time and he was this other character. But Ralph believes him, and so what ends up doing is he ends up destroying the cart that Vanellope and Ralph had gone to make so she wouldn't be able to race. And that scene got me. There was not a dry eye in my head, I guess. I don't know. But
that one hurt, yeah.
Yeah, that one, man, that one got me. And yeah, and in the end, he realized that the stupid medal he got all along eventually ended up ruining his game, because he wasn't at his game when the arcade opened, so his game was just going to be unplugged. So he realized that going out to get the medal wasn't really what he wanted all along, and he acted like a jerk the whole time. And so, yeah, the story of the friendship is incredible. The dynamic of the friendship is awesome. And the friendship, you can't underplay the fact that it was more than just them being good buddies. He was like even a mentor to Vanellope, of like showing her like how to drive. He was helping her drive. He helped build the cart, help all this stuff. And he was like even mentor, even like what's lost in the movies of Frodo and Sam, of like even Frodo being like a mentor to Sam. Like even that kind of dynamic of, even though they're friends, Frodo's still more of like a mentor in the books. That's lost on the movies, but like it's even brought out in this movie in like a way that Lord of the Rings couldn't do it. This movie could. So yeah, and this movie has it all. It has car chases. It has prolific poop jokes. Lots and lots of poop jokes. Gotta watch where you step in a game called Heroes Duty. It's got giant robot bugs. It's got retro arcade games. And it has Mean Girls.
And Duncan and Duncan. Are those the names of the donuts?
Duncan
cops?
and something else. I don't even think they're both Duncan.
Yeah, I've been trying to look it up, but my phone won't work. That's why I'm not looking at you. I'm still listening, but I'm trying to find out what the name of Duncan and whatever donut.
Anyway, this movie's great. Especially I love the part about Disney didn't hold back. With every person is valuable. Even the ones who don't have a voice for themselves, which is a message I'm sure Disney would not make today with their current political standings.
No. Only the minorities get a voice.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's the white people's voice that will
Exactly.
speak out for the minorities.
Exactly. But yeah, the not underplaying that even people say we're a mistake the whole time have inherent value in a way that you can't describe.
Like the jerks also have value, or like the people always have value no matter what someone says about you?
Well, the jerks were the ones who said that they had value and she didn't, because she was just a glitch. She can't race. She can't do anything, and she was just a mistake the whole time.
Okay.
And the scene where they're like wrecking her cart and everything.
There's two, like, there's a story that tells the value of the bad people and loving them even though they're jerks to you, and there's a story about you have value no matter what people say about you.
Yeah, and in the end, all the mean girls they're not eviscerated, because they really didn't remember that she was actually the princess the whole time, and so they actually got their memories restored, and she didn't actually execute them and all that, and they were friends in the end and all that.
You have to love it when like the mean girls finally get their retribution.
Yeah. Well, they did get a little bit of retribution before the end. They did get a little bit of surprises in store. Yeah, I don't want to ruin the whole movie though if you want to go watch it, but it is an excellent movie. It's my favorite Disney animation of any of their eras from 1930s up till now. It's my favorite era of Disney animation because it's not so fluid. Like, the animation is so fluid that you're literally watching liquid characters. Like, that's what I feel like. Like, okay, Elemental, whatever. Like, literally when the characters are made out of fluid. But their animation now is just so weird and fluid. And then they're like, okay, wait, we don't have to do fluid anymore. We'll go back to weird stagnant animation. And then they made Win or Lose, and it's just, like, so weird claymation-y and, like, okay.
Stiff.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, that's not where you go. Because it's bad animation, but it's not genuine. Like like older Disney animation, but the older Disney animation wasn't really that bad. This is like weird and like staggered, and it's so weird and like I say weird a lot, yeah. Anyways, they also Disney. This is a thing they have a problem with now, making this expensive, elaborate scenery with all these moving parts, always moving around, and these wide shots where there's way too much to look at. They didn't do that in this era of Disney movies. They didn't have so much to look at in the background that you can't even concentrate on what's going on. Like, there's so much of that stuff in their new movies. They have these huge wide shots, and they're like, look at all this, look at how much we can animate, and like, okay, and now animate a good story. And like, no, all we have is money. No good stories. Yeah, but anyways, that's one of my... Also, another thing we should talk about, a side character plot, Felix and the one sergeant.
The space lady.
Yeah, from the Bug game. So yeah, they eventually fall in love, and it's something you would never see in a modern Disney movie, because you know how it ends? Marriage.
Whoa, wait, what?
And the end, they eventually do get married at the end. That's like one of the, like, it's like the second last scene is their wedding, and like, guess who's the best man? It's him, and he's got his bare feet, old ham hands himself. So
and all the soldiers have their lasers trained up at the park.
Yeah, the window, because the husband from the one just got
anyway.
by a bug.
And now let me read off the next part of the script here.
Yeah. Anyway,
this
this movie is so good. I cannot underplay how good it is. I was thinking about this today. There's a lot of poop jokes. There's a lot of poop jokes in this, and there's a lot of that kind of humor in it. And so when you're giving a family-friendly review for this kind of a movie, it's hard to do, because for certain families it would be good. For our family, I would say family friendliness was 10 out of 10, because we're a poopy farty family is what I like to call us. We love poop jokes. We love us some good fart jokes, and that's just a part of our family, I guess. We're one of those kind of families, and so just laughing all the time. But like, for some people, they don't like that. So depends on the family. But for our family, it was like solid family friendliness, 8 out of 10. Like some of the costumes, Sergeant Calhoun is in shape right now. So, but yeah, for that kind of thing, I would say definitely 7 out of 10 for that aspect of it.
I think kids can overlook that.
But the kids can overlook, especially in our family, when it's the little kids are the girls and the big kids are the boys. So where it's our family would be able to get over something like that. Also, lots of poop jokes in our family. So family friendliness for our family is always 10 out of 10. For the average family, I'd say like 7 or 8 out of 10. There's some scenes that will scar your kids if you're terrified of mutated bug clowns that are...
But it's all in good fun, I think.
Turbotastic! So, yeah.
I believe he was played by, I think his name's Alan Tudyk.
I think that sounds right.
And when you realize how many Disney characters Alan Tudyk has played, like just characters overall, it's incredible. And his voice morphs from character to character, and you would never know that it was him.
Really?
It's insane. I have like a YouTube short I could play for you maybe after the pod. It's just, I'd look it up. Alan Tudyk he's incredible. Tudyk.
Yeah, but the movie, the soundtrack is awesome. The whole thing is awesome. Ralph and Vanellope as characters are hilarious. They're like, the way they interact with each other is just off the chain funny, and like, you can't underplay this. Personal recommendation, 11 out of 10. I'd never give this kind of recommendation for another movie. Like, I can't. How do I give more than 10? Because meaning tied with poop jokes, tied with incredible soundtrack, tied with my favorite artist has a song in it, tied with everything about this movie I just loved.
And I think there's also an element of the platonic is the main storyline, and the romantic is like a goofy sideline.
Yeah, where they didn't make it a romantic thing, but like in the end they had the friendship, and the ending scene where they're playing the arcade finale song, that's what it's called on the album, is so good and so wholesome, and at the end it's like he's being held up by the Nicelanders to get thrown off the top of the building, like always. But this time, everything's great. And from up there, he can get a perfect view of Sugar Rush. And
oh, gosh, I just got the
and her racing,
man.
And he's
That's
like...
so good.
The players love her just like he thought he would. She's a natural, and if that little kid likes me, how bad can I really be? I don't need anything else. And it's so good. See, you're tearing up right now.
Pixar makes you feel all the feelings.
And that's not even Pixar.
I
Do you know
oh,
that? It's not even
is
Pixar.
It really?
It's not even Pixar, which is what amazes me the most. Like, I teared up like 3 or 4 times in that one. Like, I was sobbing at the end of that movie. And it had
So
just the most
good.
perfect, beautiful ending of any Disney thing I've ever seen. My favorite Disney movie, I'm going to say hands down, of all time. It's
Mine
just
is How to Train Your Dragon 2.
so yeah, for you anyways. But like, so I mean, their
That's not
soundtrack.
Disney. That's not Disney.
That's true, but like animated, like
Animated movie? Yeah,
it's tied with Transformers 1. Transformers 1 doesn't have the heartwarming part of it though. So this
does not.
This is probably the most heartwarming, like wholesome, like good for the soul kind of movie.
I think that's true.
And it's so inspiring to me, and I love it. Soundtrack, everything.
It's one of my top movies of all time. I'm a sucker for animated movies that are done well.
Yeah, this one was done way better than any Disney movie that they're ever gonna make. I'm just gonna say it right here. They're never gonna make another movie like it. And let's not even talk about. There was no sequel. There was no sequel to this movie. There was never.
I watched that one. That's actually, I think, the one I watched recently. And they learn how to deal with their friendship in like certain.
No, you know what
aspects.
they learned? They learned that there's some people on the internet. I played some people. I just met this person in GTA, and they're nice, and I belong there with you, with the one person I met on the internet in GTA, instead of with a person who literally saved their life. That's my calling, is GTA, and parents got in my life. And they turn Ralph into this dummy who's like he's like a blubbering idiot in that one, and like they totally change his character and mangle it up, and like...
I think maybe you're right. It's definitely not as good, but I think the main value in the second one is learning not to control your friendships, which hits me a little bit more because it's like something that like it's kind of a lesson that I need to remember more, is like learning to like, I don't know, like learning to let your friends go a little bit instead of like holding them tight. But it's definitely nowhere near as good as the first
Yeah,
one.
but the problem I found with that one was like from the start, when she realized there's this other game out there, you could see her friendship with Ralph just start drifting away.
And that,
And
yeah,
she just
no, you're right.
she just started like not care, like she started caring about this other things. And when the part where Ralph is like turning his blubbering and he's like, oh, and she just puts up her hood and she's embarrassed to be around him, and like it just totally ruined the magic of the first one for me. And like that's why I'm holding on to it. I'm like, that movie never existed. That never happened.
That's your Crystal Skull.
Yeah, like I just can't stand that, and I didn't want to end on that because the first one is so good, so wholesome, so spiritually good, and like it didn't have this overshadowing scene of the princesses that's kind of infected the whole movie, and like anyway,
I don't know. I don't think it's terrible, but it's not as good as the first one.
No,
I gotta defend it.
I think
it's
they
okay.
kind of ruined the characters a little bit. Like in the end, they made up for all the stuff, but they never really addressed a lot of the issues where they were like their friendship was starting to split up, and they never talked about how Vanellope just started drifting away from Ralph and just didn't talk to him about all these things that she was saying about him behind his back, and like
I do see that, and maybe. I'm sorry, I interrupted. I definitely. I could see that, and maybe I was forgetting those parts. It's definitely like if you put this one at 11 out of 10, it's probably like 5 out of 10. Like it's
No, I'd put it lower. I'd put it at 1 out of 10. I hate that movie.
It's not bad though. It's not a bad movie. I think you're just very personally attached to the characters, and you didn't like what they did to the characters.
I didn't like the way that they changed. Like right from the beginning, I started watching the first part of Ralph Breaks the Internet. I'm like, wait a minute, did they get different voice actors? Because like Ralph turned into this, and he's like, he became like his masculinity became this badge of him being some kind of stupid like tough guy with. Oh, Disney's like, oh, he's masculine. I don't know how to handle this. He must be dumb because only girls are smart, and so he's got to be dumb. And Ralph's dumb, whatever dumb he did have, was like charming and funny in the first one, and it was like an endearing quality. But like, yeah, they totally drifted away from the story being about Ralph too, and they were trying to make me, like, what is it, empathize with Vanellope the whole time, like wanting to move to Slaughter Race, and like the whole time I was just like, no, but I don't want her to. So like, and then she sees like she's singing this whole song about Slaughter Race, and then all of a sudden she sees Ralph on the cloud. I'm like, oh, but she'll remember Ralph and how much he cares about her and how much what they've been through. And then she's just like, oh, but Ralph won't let me go, and I just turned it off. I'm like, I can't believe you just whenever you see him anymore, you're just like, nope, he's what's in my way in my dreams. And like, I just hated that.
So what did we learn today? Jeremiah doesn't remember how bad movies are. I didn't know how bad Hamilton was, and no, I can't. You're right. I can't keep like genuinely, like I enjoyed it when I was watching it, but when I look back, like okay,
the Ralph internet memes are kind of funny though. That's funny part of it.
I think what happened was I overlooked, like there was the Disney charm that made me overlook the stuff that you're saying, and you're totally right. I can't defend it anymore.
Yeah, it's. I don't mean to try and change your opinion on this, but the movie was what they did with the characters, how they just kind of eventually they just kind of split apart, and at the end it's supposed to be this beautiful thing where they were separated. Now they're kind of friends now. They FaceTime or whatever. It's just like it's supposed to be this great thing, and then you know what they do? If it's not bad enough, guess what the credit song is? It's Zero by Imagine Dragons. Of all the songs to put at the end, it's one of the depressing. Imagine like if that's the equivalent of an Owl City uplifting song. When can I see you again? You want me to look up the lyrics of Zero because it's one of the most depressing songs of hear. It's just so like, I don't know. It just I'm like I was about to cry in a bad way after that movie. I'm like, I can't believe what they did.
Well, thanks for ruining that movie for me. I'll never be able to watch it again. You're right.
they just ended it with with Imagine Dragons.
See, that's the thing is like I feel like I really wish that, and you do a really good job, but I wish that you could analyze the movies and then like you could transmit all that information to me. Because I just watched the movie and like if I tried to analyze it, like I would have fallen into Disney's trap.
Well, it wasn't really about me analyzing it. It was me watching it and realizing the story wasn't the same. There was even platitudes you can realize they copy pasted and then changed. Like Ralph makes a mistake. Like the equivalent of him wrecking the cart in the one was the equivalent of him wrecking Slaughter Race with the virus later.
He doesn't realize he's just analyzing the movie.
No,
You. I mean, okay, but don't take the bad moniker off of analyzing. You have an ability to watch a movie and see themes like that I just completely miss. I just see animation, and I think that message was okay.
Well, the thing is, you're right. I was totally invested in the character, and when I saw the characters, the first one, completely fell in love and wanted to watch the second movie immediately. I went to it and I was like so invested in the characters and wanted the friendship to continue. And I've forgotten that I'd already seen the movie and it didn't. And I have already seen both of them before, like this recent spat of watching them, and I completely forgot about what happened in this movie. So, and I was kind of discouraged by it.
When you're right, you're right.
So. Anyways, this episode definitely went into overtime today. Like, this is our longest episode by far. So,
but it was good.
It was good. We went a lot of discussions about these great movies and stuff, making up for a lot of lost time. And before we go, I would like to go over a few more things yet. Definitely check us out on Twitter at NoEchoPod. Check us out on YouTube at Not Your Echo Chamber Podcast, and comment and subscribe there. Comment everywhere. Comment on Spotify. And speaking of commenting on Spotify, besides this is an interesting thing you can do. Comment, actually, if you don't know what to comment, because please comment. Comment where and when you actually listen to the podcast, because that's actually, whether you think it is or not, that's a great thing for me to hear, that people are actually listening to this podcast in certain places. If you're not comfortable with putting that information online, I get it, but if you're able to and if you're allowed to, please do that, because it is really encouraging to me when you do. Yeah, definitely vote in the Spotify polls. If any content that you give us and we use on the podcast, that will win you a sticker. We get in communication and all that, and yeah, we can get all that put together. So nobody won the contest for this audio clip, and whoever does will be sent out that sticker. We're giving everybody one more week to do that. So, yeah, share our podcast with a friend. The fastest and best way we can expand and become better is if you share our amazing podcast with your friends and family. And, yeah, definitely comment on the episode to give us feedback that'll help us improve, like, how we can do better in this podcast and expand to get bigger and reach a better audience. Or not a better audience, but like a more versatile, larger audience.
Bigger.
Yeah, definitely bigger. Yeah, so this has been a long episode, but didn't matter if you actually got this far in the episode. You know why?
Because
It's not your echo chamber.
It's Winchell and Duncan.
Ooh, wind chill? Like,
Winchell and Duncan Donuts.
the wind chill factor is currently...
I think I'm pronouncing it wrong, but Winchell.
Winchell, that looks
Winchell.
right. Winchell and Duncan, yeah.
Winchell and Duncan Donuts. The
Yep,
cops.
that makes sense. All right, so
Go watch Wreck-It Ralph.
go watch Wreck-It Ralph. That movie is beautiful. And go watch Wicked, and go watch
Lego Movie.
and Lego Movie 2, and Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, I didn't get into Lego Movie 2, but that was beautiful.
It was a pretty good movie too. Yeah.
Brother-sister storylines.
Yeah. Anyways, yep. That's all for today. See you later, audience.
Marriage.
And marriage.
Batman gets married in that movie.
Also, Fix-It Felix gets married in his movie.
Oh, I thought you were like, and Fix-It Felix is in the background. If you see at 26 hours and 3 minutes into that movie, you can see.
Yeah, like one of those guys who analyzes, like Matt Pat, who just goes in depth.
We need to stop. Did you know he actually like outsourced now? I watched. He has a video.
I did see he did have a couple different ones.
Yeah, he has a different guy now. Either that or he became like 200 pounds more. Like, no offense to the guy, no offense to the new guy, but Matt Pat is like a rail of a man.
I watch film theory, by the way. I do not do game theory. No, not into those horror games recently.
Well-
But did you hear he was in that FNAF movie?
Matt Pat?
Yeah, he like briefly showed up as a waiter. I'm like, that's so cool that he actually was in that movie, and like he was like a brief cameo or something. But I think that's super cool, like because he's like one of the most influential people in the FNAF community.
Is he really?
Yeah, because he's like his output of FNAF content is off the chain. Like he does so much stuff. I don't listen to any of it because the FNAF lore doesn't mean a lot to me like it does mean to some people. But like. Yeah, he did show up in that movie. I'm like, that's cool that they gave him a cameo in that, like a nod to his involvement in the community.
Yeah.
So, yep, that's all for today. I realized we did the outro like 2 minutes ago. This is all going after the beep then.
We did.
All right, so
After the great beat.
It's literally 9:08 p.m. We've been doing this podcast since like 7:50 or something. So, yeah. Thanks for listening, guys. See you later.
Send us money.
Win that contest. Bye.
Your camera might be better than mine just because of the way my phone is. My phone is kind of
Okay,
bad.
my phone is running kind of fast today. So I'm gonna switch over here. Let's see if we got smooth camera today. So
little
shutter
shutter
sound
noise.
on
I
podcast.
just took a picture.
Oh, we froze up.
Hold on. Let me check the video. I mean, I'm moving smooth, but like it's just like not the greatest video. That's all.
It's my camera is unable to open camera right now. It does that sometimes. It's a bit.
Hey guys.
I've got a bit of a chuggy camera right now. All right. Okay. I can start videoing now. All right.
Let me.
Oh no, my camera's lagging like crazy. Oh no.
I can try it. It won't be terrible. It'll just not be superb.
Yeah, my camera's
Okay.
slow. It's just slow sometimes. It always takes like an hour to warm up.
Okay, I'll just point this. Just tell me what do you
Here, just give me your phone and I'll video.
Okay,
All right.
sounds good.
All right.
Should I open it like an unboxing? Hold on.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. We're recording this and recording it 2 times. We can
So-
put this clip on the episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say go to the YouTube channel and like look this up. So we're gonna